Hey, everybody, welcome back. Happy end of the week. We're moving into a good weekend. This is going to be a fun weekend. Here in the Midwest, it's starting to get really nice out. So, open houses are starting to get busy again. And I love open houses. I do all the open houses in the summer. If you're a young realtor, that is the perfect way to get your name out there. That is the best way to get your head in the game. I've spent so much time in open houses. My broker and I, it's our Jizzy Jam. I know a lot of people have different ways. They do Zillow, cold calling, door knocking, whatever it is. We spend a lot of time in our open houses, and there's a lot of other things you can do, but open house season, oh, it's my jam. But today I wanted to talk about building more than anything. So I am moving towards building a lot more recently in the last year. Right away when I got in the business, I was all real estate, realtor stuff, buyers. Then I was focusing on sellers. Now I'm focusing mainly on education and building because I've been with a builder for just about 2 years. It'll be 2 years coming up here in May. So, I mean, we got a couple months, but I love building. It is way more fun for me. I still love being a realtor, don't get me wrong, but being a builder, that's problem solving 101. That is your entire job is solving a problem for somebody. And the one that actually really kind of made me excited was yesterday I was on the phone with a gentleman and he was looking at building and he reached out via one of our catalogs that we have for promotions. And he, because we're what we call a production builder. So we put in about 100+ homes a year, whether they're build to rents or they're actual buildings that are going to be sold, built to sell. And he was just like, all right, man, how do we make this work? Like they were planning on 2028 to 2029 to build. He's got some stuff coming up in his life here in 2027. And for them, the biggest thing was figuring out that they were trying to make a monthly payment work. We'll just start there. And they have a plot of land. They have kids, quite a few kids, and they really want to be on that land. And they feel like that they had to wait a few more years for that to even happen because they have other things they're working on. And this is where it's a lot of fun because I was probably on the phone with him for about 20 minutes talking about family, talking about ideas, talking about what we want to do, answering some questions for him. And, right before we got off the phone, I listened, I asked all the questions I could, and I said, hey, man, I have a curveball for you. I can help you guys get in a house this year. Do you guys want to do that? And he goes, I mean, if it's doable, like we just don't think it's doable. And I'm like, it's doable. Let's do this. So we actually are running a 3-2-1 buy down at my builder now. So what that means is, in layman's terms here, or just simplifying it, because every time I try to explain it to people, they feel like I'm crazy. But basically what that means is that the first year of your mortgage, you're going to pay a 2% interest rate. The second year, you're going to pay a 3%. The third year, you're going to pay a 4% interest rate. And the fourth year and moving forward is going to be 6% interest rate locked in. But the thing is, you can refinance if interest rates go down. There's no penalties there. But the idea is that the builder can pay some, and this is no cost to the buyer, but we can pay for that to be taken care of with a preferred lender that we use. And we can bring your payment down significantly for the first couple years. And I'm working with 2 people right now that feel that's going to make the ultimate decision for them because they really want to get into a house. But like I explained to them as well, I mean, waiting costs you money more than you realize. And some people feel trapped because they can't, that monthly payment just seems so daunting and it can be scary. And I get it. I mean, I'm looking at building a house. I'm going to go from $1,800 to $4,000 a month in payment. And my house that I'm building is not crazy more than what mine's worth now. And it's what interest rates do. I mean, that's just how it works, right? So we're worrying about how can we make that monthly payment more affordable. And that's the solution base that I'm starting to really understand that people need is they need to figure out how they can make things work and not feel like they're kind of trapped. And partially why I love building, because we can offer those solutions. Right now, we're in a market where pricing your home is so significantly important. Like listing it for the right price is so important compared to what it was 2-3 years ago. And that's why so many realtors, I think like 50% or 40% of realtors are leaving the space because it's not the same market anymore. Because it's not. People want to get their license. They want to spend the 90 hours. They want to pass their course, and then they want to list a house and hope that everything sells immediately. That's not the market we're in anymore. This is just something that's completely different. So, that's why I think it's also very important too, because a lot of people are listing their houses that are just outlandish, and you walk through them and you're just like, I don't know, man. This is where we're at. I have to call a client that I was listed their house last year and it didn't sell. Market was slow. I was still trying to figure out how to list homes for the correct price. This one was not listed correctly. And we're going to have to tell them that we're going to have to drop it like 50 grand from when they initially started. And that was a learning curve, but it's something that we do, right? We just learn as we go. But anyways, back to building. So building is something that I really hold near and dear to my heart because it's all about solving problems, right? It's not showing 100 homes. It's sitting down, it's asking the right questions, it's going through their pain points and saying, okay, I need more square footage. I need another bedroom. I need to, I don't know, have a basement, whatever it is, right? And we can make that happen with building. And that's with inventory shortages. I'm focusing gung ho. I am looking at buying more lots in my area. I've talked to other builders, other developers that have lots lying around. I have my own 5 developments I'm working on. Wait, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah, five developments I'm working in currently. And we're going to keep pushing to make that home available, especially for those first-time home buyers. My niche is first, second-time home buyers, and then patio homes for like the retirees, right? I don't build the super fancy, crazy exotic architectural ones. I build the ones that are functional and they're cost-effective, because what I can do is I can negotiate with my contractors, and I say mine as the company. What we can do is we can negotiate with our contractors and say, hey, you're going to have this many builds throughout the entire year. We're going to make sure that you're taken care of, but we're going to get a discount on that. Same thing with product. By buying and building so many homes, we have a discount on those. So we can beat the square footage price per square footage by pretty significantly by any other builder in town. We're building the same home. We're building the same product. The only difference is that you're building a home that's not going to look as flashy when mom and dad come to visit, when you host and all that fun stuff. So this side-by-side comparison that I have seen, and I work with a lot of builders. I'm not knocking on any of them. I love all the builders I work with in town. They are great people. They're great owners. They have great solutions. Not many people are doing the same thing I'm doing. Nobody's doing it in my town. I mean, there's other companies trying to match my pricing and they just can't get there. And it's just because we have such a big footprint in the community as it is. But there's other builders out there that are going to be building a little bit more fancy, a little bit nicer homes in the aspect of, visual apparel, right? So you're going to walk in, you're going to have exposed beams, you're going to have pennant lighting, you're going to have, I don't know, you're going to have upgraded flooring, black windows, there's a lot of things that these guys do that make it significant. So when they walk in, when a buyer walks in, it's like, whoa, this is beautiful, right? But anyways, so as we started to get more focused in the spring market, I'm going to update us as we go through building. I'm going to do more videos of us walking through my builds all the way from the foundation to pouring the slabs, to framing, to HVAC, to electrical, to plumbing. We're going to do all that this year because we want to get you as informed as possible. I have 2 goals this year: to build and find as many people homes that they love as physically possible, and number 2, to educate as many people as possible as I can on my social media channels. I love helping people and I love getting people into homes. Those are my 2 things. So I'm going to be focusing on that this year. And those of you that are paying attention, those of you that have made it to the 8 minutes that we're into, almost 9, I appreciate your time. I love to see you follow us through this journey. We're going to be following a journey of me building my first home as a builder, financing it, going through the whole process, picking things out. And it's going to be partially, we're going to do a twin home. My wife and I are going to live on one side and we're going to sell the other. So we'll guide you guys through that journey as well. And if you guys are looking to get into building, if you're looking to get into real estate, or if you're just a buyer or seller that needs to know more about the market, that's what this is for. We're going to provide you with as much content, as much education as possible. I'm super excited to see 2026 continue for us. Thanks for watching. Make sure to like and follow. Comment if you want me to talk about anything building or real estate related. I'm here for it, man. I spend all day, every day learning about the real estate market, about education. Oh, and another thing, we're working on getting into commercial properties this year too. So follow along for the journey, you guys. This is going to be a fun year. I appreciate you. Much love. We'll see you soon.